So I just want to see whether this is worth the price for maybe the top layers when it gets a bit more detailed, and see whether this flows in the way I want. So I've only got the one colour because I didn't want to spend too much with not knowing how this may react. The dilemma is, can I invest in something this expensive and is it worth it? So that's what I want to find out today. Moment of truth. It's my very messy palette, but on that little bit there. Ooh. Okay, so it does flow well. Got a bit of tackiness to it. Alright, let's just see if I can blend it a bit. And not really. Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I can get some texture going on. So, I mean, the colour is absolutely amazing and it is very bright. I think I'll be buying it in small quantities when I just want like a really bright background or some vibrant colours, because the vibrancy on it is absolutely phenomenal. Just not entirely sure about the actual consistency of it, although it doesn't drip, which is good. So if I'm painting quite flat colours, it's great. Yeah, I prefer the System 3. It's got more of a drag to it rather than the fluid, but I'm going to have to try the heavy bodied out next. Okay, so I'm just playing around at the moment. Okay, it dries much quicker as well. A little bit, I guess. But okay, so as you can see, I have decided to go for the heavy bodied, and I'm just going to see how the two of them work together. So the painting is still at the very early stages, first layer, but I'm going to go to the studio because there's better light there and hopefully I can give you a better view of what I'm doing. So I am using the golden fluid acrylic for this section, but I'm mainly using System 3 for the different layers and the blending, as you can see, with the different colours next to one another. It's good, I find, to do what you already know and then add in the additional paints just to see how they react to your normal practice. So yes, this is as painful as it looks, holding my phone against the palette so I can see the reference photo. So I'm just building up the image because I much prefer to have an actual image to work from in order to try out the paint rather than doing little swatches of colour. I find it gives a more accurate representation. So here I'm just showing the comparison of the fluid and the heavy body together. Here I'm just testing out what the heavy body is like when it's thick textured paint, and here I'm just trying different mark making, just seeing how the new paint reacts, and it is a bit more thick than the System 3, but really for the price difference it's not a lot of difference to make it worth the extra price increase in my opinion. Okay, so it's a few days from when I filmed that, as you may have gathered. So both the paints felt of quality and felt expensive in the way they came out the tube and the vibrancy of those colours. However, I don't think the heavy bodied was far enough away from what I'm used to, which is more affordable, and the System 3 does allow me to use paint in the way that I do, which is fast quantities and building up the layers. So the fluid acrylic I was really impressed with, especially that vibrancy. With it being a lot thinner, that will take some getting used to, and the way I use paint, I probably won't be using it until the very last stages, but I think it will come into its own for those really bold blocks of colour. I think as a final thought, it's good to add expensive paint into your repertoire at points, but every artist will find how they want to use them. So I hope this video has been useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's not something that I normally do in terms of reviews. I was going to use this paint anyway just to try it out, so I thought I might as well make a video about it. And so I will see you soon, and I'll see you in the next video.